Hey guys, it's Ashley with Ophire Co. I am joined by the lovely Larissa of Refined Vibes. And
Hello.
today we're going to talk about something super exciting that we're both working on together. And I can't wait to share your story. And I'm just really excited about this release and putting it out in the world. So, yay.
Me too.
All right, cool. So, let's get into your story and just, I guess, your why and kind of whatever you'd like to share about that.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny how everything, like, I was talking about it with my husband the other day and just kind of going down the timeline on how everything kind of turned into what it is now, like sitting in my own office and stuff. And actually, I think it's actually really crazy. I believe yesterday, or it was 2 days ago, marked 2 years from when I actually quit my 9 to 5 clinic job, and I kind of just
Mhm.
jumped in and I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to kind of just figure out what I want to do with my life. And I had picked up crocheting by that time, but I did not ever in my wildest dream thinks it would be what it is, what it's become. And
Right.
yeah, so before I worked with kids on the spectrum, and I loved them, and I worked with them on a bunch of their social skills and cognitive health and stuff like that. And I just always felt like something was missing. And I picked up crochet. My family, I come from a bunch of family that are seamstresses, women who work with their hands. I have one aunt in particular who is like a crocheter. In Spanish, it's a tejedora. So
Okay, that's
she
cool.
makes these amazing things. I don't know if you see that red like doll that's back there. That's all cotton
Mm.
yarn, tiniest yarn. She made that, and she makes the most beautiful things.
Nice.
And my mom always made blankets growing up. So I was like, you know what? Like, I remember I was at my mom's house and she was like, oh, I'll show you how to do a chain. And I was like, what's a chain? And I did the chain. And she told me, which is kind of funny story, that, oh, it's so good. Like, I've never like seen someone pick it up so like easy. But fast forward, she told me, she goes, actually, it was a really bad chain, but I really wanted you to feel good. So, and I was like, and I believed her. I was like, I'm
Oh my
so good
gosh.
at this. I'm so good at this. And when I got back home from Arizona, I ordered an Amazon book that taught you how to crochet. Like, I just read it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. And thankfully, with TikTok and YouTube, there was a bunch of tutorials, and I was like, I'm just gonna do this
Nice.
for fun. And I made a really creepy looking alligator. And um after I made the creepy looking alligator, I had a couple friends who were like, would you ever think about selling? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Mine look really creepy. Like, I don't think you guys want to purchase them
Little
from me.
monsters.
Yeah, yeah. So then they were like, you should just practice and see what you think. And slowly I started going into acrylic yarn, and then that led to cotton yarn or plush yarn that I use majority now. If you can't tell, my obsession has become very real. And I started, I thought, I was like, oh, I have all this stuff made. Like, maybe I could try a market. Like, I was like, I guess I'll try it just for fun. And this, I wasn't filming at that time yet. And I started doing that, and I did my first market. And mind you, I was like working, when I was working my 9 to 5, I was working like 40 plus hours a week, crying every night. I was so unhappy with
Yeah.
my life. And I spent this one day at this one market, and it was a it was actually a market for like a neurodivergent market. So it was really like they called it Neuro Beautiful, and it was so amazing.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and so I still remember because I had my inventory written on a paper, and I took 72 items, and I had, I think, $1,200 worth of inventory, and I sold $836. And I remember I
Oh, that's
cried and I was like,
awesome.
whoa, like you can make money off of like making stuff. Like, I did all this for fun. Like, this is so
Right?
cool. When you do something, it's like I never understood that saying that people said where it was like, um, if you love what you do, you won't work a day in your life. And it's so true. I used to be like, yeah, right. Like, I'm working.
Right?
Yeah, but
Right?
once you found something that you love, it's amazing, and it's so true because I feel like I'm just like living the dream as like once I
Yeah.
started getting into it. So then YouTube came, and I was like, I'm gonna start just recording it for fun. Like, I'm just gonna like have a video diary. Like, that was my whole expectation. I was like, I'm just gonna be able to look back at this, or when I have kids, they can see like, oh, mom used to make all this cool stuff or something, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, one thing led to another. I was posting shorts and a video like kind of just blew up and people started saying like, "Oh, I really like you and I like your vibe and I like how who you are as a person." So I was like, "Oh, this is so crazy. I've never been used to so many like I was always kind of like I didn't have a lot of friends and
Mm-hmm.
I just very kept to myself most of the time and creating now, fast forward, it's become this huge crochet community where we have like I have a Patreon where I have all these cool girls that I know from all over the country, even outside of the country, in South Africa and in England and just all over. And kind of like once I started crocheting, I started getting into like hooks and understanding like different grips and being like, I don't know if I like how this feels. I don't know. And I mean, you know this, most of the crochet hooks are pretty boring. Like they
Yeah.
just look like metal with a color. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, this is what it is, you know? Like, I mean,
Right.
this is what's available. And I remember, I think it's like full circle. I was like, I believe it was either Instagram Reels or it was TikTok where I just saw like some one of the Ophire hooks like just gleaming in the
Okay.
light and I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, this looks like a crystal. Like this is so pretty." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Add to cart immediately, check out." And then I was so excited and I was when I emailed you guys, I think I had hit like 10,000
Yeah,
subscribers.
it was crazy. You reached out to us and yeah, you were at 10,000 and I think it like took a long time for me to like respond to you because we were so
Yeah.
busy. And then by the time I like finally like we were talking, you had gained like another like 10, 15,000 followers. It's something crazy like that. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I remember I reached out to you guys and I was like, I don't know, like I'm kind of like just shooting my shot in the air. I was like, I know I'm not very big right now according to other people, but I was like, I don't know if you guys would want to work with me anytime or if you guys do that type of thing. And you were just so open and honest with me. And I loved that. And when I found out like the person behind the company too, where it was also woman owned and it's small business, like, I don't know, it's just something so beautiful about that. So then we come here and it's just kind of like full circle where it's like, I can't believe we're
Yeah.
sitting here and we're making this video now. So I was like, so
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like
Right?
my backstory of like crochet, like how I got
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's so similar to me too, like what you said, like if you love what you're doing, you'll never work a day in in your life. And like
Yeah.
I felt the same way as you, like, yeah, whatever, like you still gotta work out here. But like it was the same thing. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just something being like 100% your own that you created yourself. Like for me, I'm like, I'll do anything it takes to like, make this business, thrive and like, because, Ophire Co, my biggest I guess drive is it's not just about the hooks at all for me. It's totally about like the community and like I know there's a lot of crap going on in the world right now and I want to be like
Yes.
a safe little haven for people for crocheters to come and just get away from that and just like be creative and connect. That's been like and so I totally get what you mean and like it's very similar our stories and like
Yeah.
I left my 9 to 5 for this and I kind of made a leap and it surprised me completely. And so I love seeing other like creators like experience that because I want that for everyone. Like I want everyone to follow their dreams and to work out and
Yes.
survive in this crazy world.
Exactly. I think a lot
Oh,
of us are very, very scared to kind of take that leap. And it's a scary
yeah.
leap, but
Yeah.
honestly, like if I could go back, I don't think there'd be a single thing that I would change. Maybe
Right.
doing it sooner, but
Right?
other than
No,
that, no.
totally.
Yeah, I was like, I am done letting anything hold me back. After
I
this, I was like,
know.
yeah, I'm just jumping off stuff at this point.
But that's what it takes, honestly. That's what I feel like in people I've talked to. Like, so many people are held back by just the fear of it. That, like, their own fears hold them back. And I hate seeing that. I know it's like
Yes.
scary to do, but like, if you take the leap, like, I feel like it just opens doors for you. And like, because like, I thought about Ophire for years before I did anything. And so and it was my fear. I was like, this ain't gonna go nowhere. This ain't gonna do nothing. And then I finally just got fed up and was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try and see what happens. And then
Yeah.
and that's all it takes. You just
Yeah.
have to like get over that fear. That's like the biggest thing. So
I was like, I
there you
have
go.
my
I have my little yellow one.
Oh my goodness. I am so happy. I love them
Yay.
so
Yours
much.
looks so good in the light.
Yes, I was like, I have
Yay.
my like natural lighting on them and just
There
kind
you
of like
go.
makes them pop even more. And what I like about them is like if they're up in the sun, they have like this blue like
Yeah, the blue hue to
insides.
it. Yeah.
Yes, I love them so much.
Yay. So everyone, this is what we've been keeping secret for so long and been working on for months and months. And we're so excited to finally share it with you guys. This is the Lucia hooks, affectionately named by Larissa. And we wanted to do a purple hook and just finding the right purple was so hard. But I think
Yeah.
this purple is amazing. It's got this shimmery purple glitter and then it's got like a blue hue, like kind of like when the light picks it up, it's got like a little bit of a blue hue to it, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, like from
So
this view, you can see like all the shimmer. I think we even had to get like a different type of shimmer to
yeah.
make it look the way it
Yeah.
did.
So we
Um,
tried out a lot of different stuff and this one turned out perfectly. Yay. So we'll get more into, I just want to drop this real quick, but we'll get more into the backstory of these hooks and how they came to be. But we are alongside our hook sales. This will be the limited edition run of these hooks. Um, we are also working with a charity called Embracing Project. And so with the sale of every hook, Ophire Co. is donating 10% of all those sales to the Embracing Project. And if you don't know about the Embracing Project, Larissa will clue us in and talk to us about everything and kind of like the more of the meaning behind these hooks. So go ahead.
yeah, so I along with so Ophire's also doing their 10% and I'm also whatever I was like my sales as well, I'm going to be giving 10% of mine as well to the Embracing Project. So the Embracing Project, also TEEP, is a local charity non what is
Profit.
it? A nonprofit, there you go, organization that's here in Vegas. I actually went and saw the facility yesterday, and it's a facility here that helps young individuals, both female or male or anyone who wants to who needs a safe haven or helps with informed care, trauma care for youth that have to deal with sexual exploitation. So they are a really, really cool non-profit that's here in Vegas. They are so engaged in the community here in Vegas. They
Love
actually
that.
have, yeah, they actually have currently 100 girls that's under them. So the way they get to help these girls is girls from CPS, DFS are all resourced out to them, and they have advocates on their team. So these advocates will help these girls get the care they need, whether it's getting dental care, getting high OBGYN appointments, helping them go to the bank or be able to do things in the world that they might have not been able to do before or give them those resources. They also have therapists in-house. So these girls who need that care can see a therapist. They have a kitchen where these girls can come in and then they have food ready for them. They even have like a cute like recipe on the fridge where it's like it gives them ideas where it's like, oh look, this is what you can make if you need some. I got to meet some my tour guide of the day was so beautiful and so sweet, and she showed me around, and I got to actually meet some of the girls as well that were there, and they have school there for them. So some of these girls, the majority of the people that are there are girls in the actual facility, and they actually have schooling for them too. So if they can't, be in a normal school setting, they can go there. A lot of times some of these girls don't even have the safety in their own homes to sleep or be home. So some of these girls would just go to the Embracing Project facility and just take a nap because that's their only safe place that they have to do
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
So when I was there, I actually asked, I've been in communication with Kaylee, who's a program manager there, and I didn't have the tour with her. She wasn't there that day, but the tour guide that I was with, I asked her if there was anything specific that she wanted me to talk about when we did talk about these hooks and
Mm.
what these profits are going to be helping and what they do and what's their mission.
Awesome. Yeah.
And when she was talking about it with me, oh my God, like I had to try not to cry. I mean, I've been telling you, I've been an emotional wreck throughout this whole thing because it's like what you said, like, yes, these are hooks, but there's more that goes into these hooks. Like it's about
Mhm.
community, there's more to it. And that's what I wanted to do with these hooks. I wanted it to mean more. And so when you guys were so candid and open about making this more and being able to work with a charity that's local, I was so excited and happy. So when I was speaking to her, she said the number one thing for them is safety. And
Mhm.
when any of the girls that come in through the doors, she calls them her angel babies. And
Oh.
she will say that regardless of what you have to do outside of these doors to survive, and what you have to go through. Once you come in through those doors, it doesn't matter. You're here, you're safe, and you're loved.
Oh,
And
I
oh
love
my
that.
goodness.
That
Um,
makes me want to cry.
yeah, I genuinely, wholeheartedly love these people and their mission. The resources they have inside of that facility and what they provide for these girls or these young girls. They work with girls from ages 12 to 21, and once they like
Okay.
age out, they don't just like say, "Oh, you're done." They then
Yeah.
resource them out to adult programs that will help them to
Okay.
continuously and stay on the right path and keep them safe.
Okay.
And it's not just girls who have been through, sexual exploitation. They also help people who are going through emotional or physical um
Mhm.
experiences that they need help with. So it's not just one branch of people that they're helping. So it's a really, really beautiful nonprofit. I
Oh,
wish,
awesome.
like, obviously for safety reasons, I wasn't able to record anything or take
Mhm.
pictures, which is totally understandable, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but the team that they have there, you can just see they're so involved and it's just so beautiful. And I was able to see all of the things that I'm like looking up because I'm like trying to visually see like the house and that's how I better remember things. And
Yeah.
they have like all of these like they have this little area where all of their donations go through. So like they have things like new clothes for the girls, underwear for the girls, hair care, hygiene, all these things that maybe they don't get where they are
Mhm.
or they need. And they
Mhm.
have care bags, and then they have like this room where all the parents come in and they have the resources for these parents who are also struggling, with their kids who like need help, who might not want
Mhm.
help, and so they slowly try to help them, engage them, and it's beautiful.
Awesome. Love that. I love hearing well, and I just love that like I'm just in a place where I can help and like me and you kind of like just happenstance, like this just kind of happened. And I'm just
Yeah.
thankful that I can help with this and help with like, in your story, you're like determined to help, with people who struggle with these things. And so I just love that I can be in a place to help you guys and just yeah, it makes me happy.
Yeah, me
So,
too. I'm just so grateful. I just think it's really beautiful. Like I can't thank you guys enough.
yay. Well, I'm just thankful, even though, our stories have difficult past, it's what we do in the future and, the things that we do going forward. And that's the important part, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I told my husband yesterday, I had a full circle moment where it's like I was sitting there and she was explaining to me when she was talking about her angel babies, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, if I had a program like this when I was younger, like,
Yeah.
the things, I was like, maybe things would have been different. But I was like, the fact that I get to sit here and then be a part of it and help
Yeah,
and maybe
totally.
be that difference for that one girl, whether it's one girl or a 10 girls or just one, and
Yeah.
be that difference of like someone who gets to have it now. Like
Yeah.
I was talking about it. I was like, if I would have had something like this, like, oh my gosh, so if it
Right.
can help one person, it's all that matters.
Totally. Totally. It just makes me excited to be able to, yeah, help them out and just work with a really good foundation that, you know, are really
Hmm.
trying to help people. So I love that. Yay.
Yes.
Yeah, so Larissa's gonna talk about kind of more of the backstory along the meaning of these hooks and you know, a little bit about her story and you know, how it all came to be. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so when I reached out, or when Ashley and I came together and kind of decided like we were going to, you know, work together on these hooks and the color and the collaboration, and what was going to be the meaning of this collaboration, or what were these like hooks going to be about, or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And the color I was going to choose. And for me, a lot of people, at least if you know me, I surround myself with things that are purple. I love purple. It's actually not my favorite color, but it's my best friend's favorite color. And my best friend, when I was 14, passed away sadly. But her favorite color was purple. So since I was young, ever since she passed away, like I always had some sort of purple on me or around me. So I always included that. Like right now, my computer is purple. I would have soccer cleats that were purple. I would just, or like laces, I mean, but I always had to try to keep myself like somewhat, I try to keep her, like subconsciously I choose the color purple, and I always have.
Mhm.
And when I got this opportunity, and when these hooks came about, I always told myself, like a lot of the times, like when I do things, I do it for us, for me and Claudia, and her name was Claudia and Lucero. And sadly, when she passed away, this might get a little deep for a few people, so trigger warning, okay?
Yeah.
So just a trigger warning. My best friend at 14 was sadly like kidnapped, and her life was taken away from her very soon, and she was sexually assaulted before she passed away. And she was sadly found in a dumpster where they left her. And that was something that, has stayed with me for a really long time. And a lot of the times, everything I do when I'm feeling sad, or when I'm feeling upset, or whatever, or if I'm having a hard day, I always kind of think back to her, and I say, whatever I do for us. And so there's never something I don't do without her in mind. So when I'm doing something, it's for us. So when this opportunity came up, I was like, oh no, like this has to be like for us. So that's kind of like the reason why we went with this color and this purple. And Ashley can vouch for me. I just wanted this color to be perfect. And I was like, I need a certain color. And they were
Yeah.
so patient with me. So I appreciate them. And I can't even fathom like how beautiful they like were able to execute this color as well. And that's kind of why we've decided that 10% of the proceeds from my end and from Ophire's end is actually going to be going to the Embracing Project. And that ties everything in, because it's like it means more than just some hooks, some crochet
Yeah.
community. Like, yes, the crochet community, but also, you know, a lot of us women and men have gone through, trigger warning, sexual assault and things like that. So that's kind of the thought process behind the hooks, of it meaning more. So when people purchase this hook, it's not just them getting a pretty hook, but it's going to something more. It means more. And
Mhm.
me myself, the reason why me and my best friend were so close, um, before her passing, obviously she was being sexually assaulted um, by someone close to her family, and I myself had to deal with physical abuse from a close family member when I was younger, and sexual abuse by a complete stranger at the age 12. So when I met her, we kind of, to be plain, trauma bonded in that way. And she was just like the only person that I could, confide in and feel like, oh, this person has felt, my pain, or has understood me. And when she was taken away at 14, I had to deal with a lot of, I would say, guilt. Because, when you survive, you're then called a survivor. So for me, I always had this guilt where it's like, oh, well, I survived mine and she didn't.
Yeah.
So I always have to take that into account for me and my life because it's like without her and she didn't get the life she deserved. Her birthday is actually coming up in a few days.
Mm,
She would be 25 on the 27th.
mm,
And yeah, so there's no better, timing for these hooks to come out. I think it all
yeah.
like timing worked out beautifully. And I myself decided to name them Lucia because one of my biggest inspirations in life is my grandma. She's loved me since I was younger. And I just thought it worked out beautifully because Claudia's last name is Lucero and my grandma's name is Lucia. So I was like, it just all connects.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was a big reason why we wanted to do the Embracing Project with the hooks mixed in was for her and in, just keeping her in my thoughts. And I thought it was really amazing how both you guys in your team have all been so loving and so supportive of my ideas and what this would mean for me and for probably so many other women out in the world at this moment. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, it's such a sad story, and it sucks that that even takes place in our world. But, I'm glad that, and I see more and more on TikTok lately of like people speaking up about, a lot of these issues. And, I'm so happy that people are not staying in the shadows and just, I guess groveling, not groveling, what's the right word? Like, just sitting in their puddle of, like, the things that happened to them that were not their fault. And so, um, I'm so happy people are speaking up about it and just bringing more awareness around these issues to, try and stop it more. And
Yeah.
just like all this stuff coming out. I'm so glad that it is coming out to light now. That like so that it can be prevented for, future generations of kids. And um but I mean it just sucks that it happens. And so I'm glad that we can be a part of that, bringing more awareness and, work with people who are trying to, stop it and help other people. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know that's hard story to tell, and, hard to it can be difficult to, open up to people online who don't know you, who are behind the screen. So I really, really do appreciate you sharing your story and working with us on this, because I'm just glad I can give you that avenue to work through these things. So yeah, and give back. So
No, yeah. I was like, if that's something I already said to you guys multiple times too. I was like, I just thank you guys because it's just been such a fun experience. It's been a cool experience. It's been an opportunity I never thought would come up, and I am so excited. I'm really excited to start seeing everyone being like, my hook came in and just
yeah.
it be super cool. Like I'm
Right.
giddy. I'm so excited. So I appreciate you guys allowing me to be so open. I'm very transparent online just because I wish I would have had that same resource. If I can be a resource for someone and allow
Mhm.
someone to know like, hey, like what you're going through right now. I understand you feel the way you feel and you're valid to feel the way you feel. But there's other people who have also been through it and there's resources and you can get help. You are loved and what happened to you was not your fault. But what also happened to you also is not the end of you. Don't allow that to end, your life does not end there because there's other people who sadly like my best friend who their life did end there and yours didn't.
Yeah.
So just make sure
Yeah.
you're remembering that and being grateful and just living for yourself and not allowing those people or whatever experience you're having to take anything more away from you than it already has. Because at the end of
Mhm.
the day, you're in control. You're the one who's still, there. And that's what they want at the end of the day is to be able to just keep you down, but not anymore.
No,
Yeah,
they don't get to do that anymore.
no.
So awesome. I love that. Yeah. So we'll drop some resources, for people to reach out if they are in need or someone can pass along to someone in need. So yeah. So in addition to our lovely, beautiful hooks, at the time of this video, we don't have them ready, but we'll also have yarn bowls in the beautiful purple color we have here. So those will be the same size and everything as our other yarn bowls, and those will also, with every sale of those, we'll also get the 10% donation as well. So be sure to check out our website to grab some of these beautiful hooks and bowls. And yeah, I can't wait to see you guys use them. So tag us too when you get some.
Yes, please. Just make me cry more.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so we want it to be a big, like, and maybe if you resonate with this story or you have an experience yourself or whatever, maybe it would be cool if people posted on their socials about bringing awareness around this issue and bringing awareness around the resources that are available to people out there. So yeah, just a little idea for anyone who ends up purchasing our Lucia hooks. So yeah. So in addition to the donation we're making for these hooks to the Embracing Project, we wanted to kind of open it up to you guys as well to help and give back more if you wanted to. So Larissa here, you want to talk about real quick what you'll be donating or what you'll be making to, yeah.
Yeah, so the Embracing Project, when I went and asked because I did see that like their donation pile was getting a little low, and I was like, well, what's something that you guys like or the girls look forward to or are lacking in that you guys don't maybe get donated much of? And funny enough, she looks at me and she was like, well, we don't really get donated curly hair products. And a majority of our girls are Latin and African American and they need those type of things, but they don't get it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm all over that. And then also she told me that they get really excited because she told me, she's like, you're a crocheter, like what do you crochet? And I showed her like my plushies. She was like, oh my God, our girls go crazy over Squishmallow. So I thought as a community, it'd be really cool, like if you wanted to get more involved and not only obviously, you know, purchase the hooks and the part of the profits is going to go there. But also, if you wanted to, you could also, I'm probably going to have like a PO box or maybe their a mailing address that's safe for them to meet for me to choose where we can all send crochet plushies or crochet beanies or bandanas. Because a lot of these girls that are there are, 12 to 21. So these are all things that they'll maybe want to wear, crochet bucket hats, stuff that, we all make. And I think it'd be really, really cool if we could get together as a community and do that for them so that it's more than just, picking up something. You can do something too.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, if anyone has any crochet accessory item or amigurumi crochet item they'd like to donate, we'll drop a PO box and that you can send it to. But in addition, general care products and stuff like that, I'm sure always welcome. What are some other like general care products do you think they would be in need of? Um,
So
in
when I
a,
spoke to them, they did say that they would need they take anything that has to do like toothpaste, toothbrushes, brushes, hair brushes, new underwear, new clothes, just because it's like they prefer it to be new, just because like, these are young girls, they're not gonna want,
yeah,
used. Obviously, they'll be thankful, but it's like, me as a person, I'm gonna want new clothes too if I'm in that situation.
true.
Yeah, they need socks, just like general things that maybe we don't really think of that other people would need, but like
Right.
genuinely it's just the
Mhm.
basic needs that they're needing hair ties, um, just all that good stuff. Us as girls, we know there's a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff we want.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, so we'll I think it would just be fun to send a bunch of little care packages, with a
Right? Just
little crochet
randomly.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I love that. So yeah, I can't wait. I hope a lot of people get involved and you know, send some things to these girls that really do need it. They need some extra love and need care because they're not getting it in, you know, their
Yeah.
homes or places that they're at. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much, Larissa. I'm so happy that this collaboration worked out and, you know, we found a great charity to work with. And I'm just so happy that we can bring awareness around all of this. And yeah, I can't wait to see these hooks and bowls out in the world. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
Well,
awesome.
thank you guys. Genuinely, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, for hearing out Larissa's story. And yeah, keep on crafting and keep on fighting the fight of like bringing awareness to things like this. So, yeah.